Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's lesson, we're going to be continuing on with the 4 ranges of combat, and this time we're going to be working on close range. And the scenario is the person grabs me like so, they have a knife, and they're going to repeatedly stab me like this. So that's the scenario we're going to be dealing with, which I think a lot of people actually fear. And those people that are interested in knife combat, they're very, very interested in learning how to defend against something like this, okay? So the first thing is I want to share some concepts that I think is very, very important. Number one is that there is hundreds of techniques that I know from this position, okay? So the moment they grab me right here, I mean, there's lots of techniques that I can go into. Boom, 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 takedowns, locks, throws, chokes. You know, we could go into some arm wrenches like that. I mean, there's lots of moves. Also, with the knife coming in from this hand, I could, you know, catch it, lock it, go into disarm, make them cut themselves, take down. Let's go into submission lock. You know, there's, once again, hundreds and hundreds of moves that I know of. Right, but I'm not going to do any of them, all right? And it's not because those moves don't work, okay? That's not the reason at all. I do believe in those moves, and while I can't do every single one of them in a real-life situation, I can tell you it's because it's not the right time, all right? And that's what's important here. So the idea here is because in close range, and also in any of the 4 ranges of combat, the important thing is to know when one person has the advantage and when the other person has the disadvantage. So you need to know when you have the advantage or disadvantage, okay? On the ground, it's very, very clear who has the advantage. For example, if I'm on top in the mounted position, dropping punches, you could see it from a mile away. Obviously, the person on top dropping punches has the advantage. It's very, very clear. So the person on the bottom is not trying to do an armbar from there. They're basically just trying to survive because they know these punches are coming down. So they're trying to defend against that, survive, and that's the key word, okay? So the problem is in stand-up fighting, in the 3 ranges, which is the close, medium, and long range, it's harder to tell. Why is it harder to tell? Because right here, they're in close range, I'm in close range. Who has the advantage? It's hard to tell. Medium range right here, we're both in medium range. Who has the advantage? And then in long range, we're both in long range. Who has the advantage? It's hard to tell. It's not like ground fighting where it's very, very obvious, right? So how can you tell? Well, each range has its own characteristic, but today I'm going to focus on close range. And close range is all about control. The person who has control of the other person has the advantage. So the moment they grab me here, and this grab may not be as good as like a Thai boxer grabbing you like this, or a Greco-Roman wrestler getting double underhooks on you. It may not be as good of a control, but still it's control nonetheless. And what control do I have on them? Nothing. So the moment they do this, and they're coming in with a stab right here, like this, they have the advantage. So at this point, this is why I'm not going to do techniques, even though I know techniques. I'm not going to be doing techniques. Instead of doing defensive techniques, what I need to do is defensive survival, okay? So, because they have the advantage. If I have the advantage here, and I'm like, okay, I got control over this guy, whether I shove them or whatever, and they're off balance or they're pinned up against the wall, I have the advantage, and then they come at me, slash to the throat or whatever, and then boom, I'm ready for it, and then I go into an arm break or whatever, that's fine, okay? That's fine because I am in control, right? I'm ready for it. But when they grab my head and they're doing this, that's not where I'm going, go for it, I'm ready for it, let's go. And then I see that arm coming and boom. No, it's going to be very rapid, very violent, very sudden. I'm going to be in shock going, oh man, it's more instinct just trying to survive. Therefore, I need to be doing, once again, defensive survival moves rather than defensive techniques. Please note the difference there. There is a difference. So I'm going to be doing stuff that you can't even really call techniques, or they don't really have names. I might just be using my forearms. I might be making an X like this. I might be shoulder and wrist right here. They might change angles on me. So I'm hollowing out right here. Whatever it takes, I'm just trying not to get cut. Just trying to, it's instinct, it's reflex. I'm just trying not to get killed here. You know, so they're holding me and doing this. I'm just like that. And then when I get the chance, I want to neutralize right here or like this. I want to neutralize and work back to where I can now get some control. Once I get control, then I can do defensive techniques. So please understand that concept. And once you do have control, then you can, you know, there's so many wonderful, awesome techniques on YouTube. But if you do them at the wrong time, then I think you're not going to have a very good success rate. So it's all about the timing. So how do you know the timing? Well, once again, understanding the 4 ranges of combat, knowing the characteristics of when you're in an advantageous position and when you're in a disadvantageous position. So if you're in a disadvantageous position and you're trying to do techniques at that point, you know, that's like someone who is mounted, right? So the bad guy's mounted on top of you and dropping bombs, and you're trying to do an arm bar or something. Well, of course you can't do it, you know? So if you have that kind of perspective, I think it'll definitely make your mind more clear and help you out, help increase your chances. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and take care, folks.